Today I want to take a look at log footage. And I don't mean footage of trees or footage of diaries. I mean footage shot in a log profile. And what log profile is, the way it looks before you do anything with it, is it looks kind of dull. Here's an example. I've shot some footage in the D-Log-M profile on a DJI Action 5. What do you think? It's kind of dull, yeah? Not bad, but is this really a state-of-the-art action camera? That fruit should be orange. Not like bright orange, but there should be some color there. It shouldn't be this gray. Should it? And these are brightly colored flowers, for heaven's sakes. These should be colorful. And I have those shots here in Resolve right now. So, if you just look at it by itself, it doesn't really look that bad. Everything's there. There's colors. It's maybe not that vibrant, but let me show you the difference. I'm just going to take this one file and I'm going to apply the DJI Osmo 5 Action Pro LUT to it. Bit different, huh? So that's what I want to show you how to do, because you might have more than one type of camera that has a LUT profile, and you might not have the LUT installed on your computer. Now, what is a LUT? LUT, with all capital letters, lookup table. And that's a technical way of saying that it takes this color palette and it turns it into that color palette, specifically on that clip. Why do we need to do that? What are the advantages of doing this? Well, our eyes are really good at picking up a wide range of color and brightness information and feeding it to our brains. Far better than a camera sensor is. So what the log profile does is it takes all the color and brightness and it squishes it down, more so anyway, into the range that the sensor can detect. And then we use a LUT or other tools, which I'll also show you, to spread that back out into a full range. And you end up with having more detail than if you just captured what the sensor can see all by itself. It's a little bit of a trick, but it's a good trick to know about because you can get some excellent footage this way. The downside is you have to do something with that footage in post-production. Otherwise, it's going to look dull next to stuff that's not shot in log. So let's figure out this LUT, shall we? So this is the DJI Action 5, and I've done a Google search for the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro LUT, and the top result is from the manufacturer, and that gives us the download link to download the LUT file, which is this .cube file. Now it says Mac version 1. Fear not, it will work on PC as well. So we'll go ahead and download that, save it where you're going to save it, and head back to Resolve. Now, we are going to go to File, Project Settings, and then in the Color Management tab, if we scroll down a little bit from the top, you'll see this Lookup Tables. And what we want to do is open the LUT folder. This is the easiest way to find the folder where DaVinci keeps all of its lookup tables. So here we have our list of folders. I'm going to open the DJI folder. I'm going to go to my downloads folder, copy the cube file that we downloaded and paste it into the DJI folder in the LUT folder that DaVinci opened for us. So now we know it's in exactly the right place. Then you can hit Update List right here, and DaVinci will read through the updated LUTs and hopefully make them available. If not, we'll restart Resolve and it'll be available then. Now, let's use them. There's a couple ways we can do this. Let's go ahead and let's say we'll go with this clip. I'm going to find that clip in the media pool. Here it is. Right click, go to LUT, go to the DJI folder, and find the DJI 5 D-Log-M to Rec 709. There you have it. Now, every time that clip is used in this project, it will show up as that much more saturated and colorful version. We can also select multiple files and apply the LUT. And then those files will also have that LUT. Pretty simple, right? Yes. There are reasons why you might not want to do it here, though. So we're going to venture off into the color page after removing those LUTs and have a look at it here. I can, on a node in the color page, add the very same LUT. I can then take that node, copy it, and paste it to the other clips. Why would I do that? Well, I can turn the LUT off by turning the effects on and off in color now, if I really want to. But the other thing I can do, for example, is let's create another node here. And I'm going to disable the LUT. And then I'm going to do a little bit of work on my own. I'm going to increase the contrast, maybe not that much. Increase the contrast a little bit. Increase the saturation a little bit. And there we have it. We now have two different color grades. Maybe I might want to make this a little bit warmer. And now it looks too saturated, so I can turn the saturation down a little bit. And maybe a little bit warmer. There we go. And now I've got a little bit of a nostalgic look, which is different than the look you would get from the LUT. So you might not want to just slap a LUT on it and get your standard look. So while we're here, I'm going to show you one more technique that doesn't actually involve using the LUT. Let's go ahead and reset all of these. So we'll start on this one. Go ahead and get rid of this. We don't need it. I'm going to add an effect, color space transform, and drop that on that node. Well, what this does, that's what the lookup table does, basically. It takes this set of information, these values for lightness, darkness, red, green, blue, so on and so forth, and it just changes them from one to another based on a certain set of information. It's science hardcore. I don't really know how it works. I just know what it's doing. So we're going to change the input color space. So the color space coming in, which is what this clip carries with it, and we're going to change that to DJI D-Gamut. I'm going to hold Shift to select these two clips, and then use the middle mouse button, which is a go wheel on this guy, and apply that grade to the other two nodes, two clips, I mean, and now they all have that adjusted color space. Now I can change where that color space is in my color grading. It can get pretty complex depending on what you want to do, but those are the different ways you can use log footage to do different things with it in post, either simply by slapping a LUT on it to get it back into a standard color space that looks normal, or using a couple of other options that are a little bit more flexible to let you do more of your own coloring work. Thanks for coming along. See you in the next one.